Good morning, everyone, and welcome to this week's edition of Saturday Morning Coffee with Back to Base Training. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Leon. I'm the trainer here over at Back to Basics Dog Training. Don't mind me, I'm just lowering my light a little bit. And each and every Saturday morning, I bring you this live free Q&A dog training session where no questions regarding dog training are off limits. Ask away. I will answer them the best of my ability. For those of you who bared with me last week while I had my camera fiasco, thank you. That was kind of offsetting a little bit. So I'm using another camera today because I don't trust it. It looks like it's working fine, so we're going to go with it. So for those of you joining me, please put in the comments. Let me know you're here. Give me a shout. Those who are watching later on the replay, also give me a shout. Let me know you watch on the replay. I've been having a few people do that recently. It does me good. See it later on today or Saturday or Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. People say, "Hey, I caught you live on your replay." So that makes me feel good that people are tuning in and hopefully getting some advice that helps them with their pups. So with that being said, like I said, put your comments in. Let me know you're watching. Of course, if you have any questions, put them down as well. So we're going to talk about a couple of things this week until I start seeing some questions come over. I had a great week, 10 days up in New York. Got to see a lot of my old customers, got to work with dogs. Anytime I get to work with dogs, it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. And I also got to see family, which is always nice. So, and not only the beauty of back up to Long Island for the 10 days is one of the things I always say, guys, is you are part of my pack, and I take that seriously. I don't go away. I'm like that bad rash you can't get rid of, I guess. But it brings me down to something that I'm really going to be focusing on in the near future, which is, this saying that I always put up here: together we can help one dog and one family at a time. And what I mean by that is, guys, I don't look at just the issues the dog is having or experiencing or showing or whatever. I'm looking at the whole entire picture. Good morning, Patrice. Your sound is choppy for some reason. Wonderful. Let me just see which mic I'm on here. Give me a second. Let me see if I can change it to this. That sounds any better. Let me know if that sounds any better. I switched it to a different camera, so hopefully that helps. Different microphone, I'm sorry. So let me know if that helps. I know with all the changes made recently with Facebook, things have been kind of wonky. So hopefully you guys are still hearing me. Somebody put a comment and let me know if you're still hearing me. That's worse. Okay, let's switch it back to where I was. Does that sound any better? Show advanced options. Stereo, but no, high resolution. No, it should all be good. How does it sound now? Any better? Give me a comment. Let me know. I'll never figure out this modern technology, I guess. Let me know in the comments. Patrice, on a side note, I know last week it was hard for me to demonstrate what I meant by leash pressure, but I guess I communicated enough for you to understand it, and I see what you mean. It's still choppy. Let me try one other thing here, guys. Audio output. No, it's audio. Let me try. Is this any better, guys? Maya, thank you. Let me know if this sounds any better. So anyway, last week Patrice asked a question about her dog also walking and would just stop. And I tried to explain how that's better, good. Without the wonderful world of video, how to do leash pressure. And from a comment I got, Patrice, I guess I described it good enough for you. And you were able to unlock my, I forgot the dog's name, holy crap, or your dog's brain. Guys, when dogs stop walking, beautiful. When dogs stop walking for whatever reason, as a human, we tend to try to figure out why they stopped walking. get to my neighbors 3 houses down. My dog just stops walking and wants to come home. And why do you do this? This is good. Macy, thank you. And it's just their brain, for whatever reason, gets locked up. This is what they say. This, I'm not moving. I don't know why. But don't try to think of the question why. Just say this is unacceptable. And if you apply a little bit more pressure than they're fighting you with, once you get any movement, wow, my chair almost broke. Once you get any type of movement from them, you praise them, release the pressure, and eventually their mind unlocks and they just go to the follow mode. So I'm so happy that worked out for you. You have no idea. I saw that and it made my day. So a couple of things like I was saying earlier, very random question. There are no such thing. It's leaf season and my 9-month-old puppy Shih Tzu will not picking up and eating leaves. Absolutely. I have been teaching the drop it command and he drops it, takes the tree, then picks up the leaf right back up again. This has been happening for months. I'm sure. Okay, so it's very natural for dogs to pick up leaves and twigs and things like that. That's a very natural thing. You do have to baffle. I always say that the twigs and the branches are a natural toy. Anything give them that natural toys. But I know, especially if you're up on Long Island, the oak leaves are very acidity or whatever the word is that I'm looking for, and they're not good for the dog's belly. So what you can do is you're giving the treat to redirect. You're giving the treat, say, hey, take this instead of the leaf, but you're just stopping the motion. You're not going through all the way to the mind to make them understand that eating the leaves are a bad thing. So again, my normal suggestion would be, if you want to give treats, that's fine, but don't give the treat until the mind is calm. A lot of people give the treat, they put it in front of the dog's nose, dog follows it, they give the treat, the dog goes right back to doing what it's doing. And it's because their mind is still really focused on the leaf, but that treat smells better, so we're going to take that and go back to what we're doing. So one of the things I would tell you to do is try to teach a dog, if you're going to use treats, a game called, I call it the focus game. So you get the dog's attention with the treat, and they go to look for the treat. You put the treat by your eye. They focus. And then when the dog is, and have them sit, focus. And when they look at you, good, praise them. And then, good morning, Michelle, Robin, Athena. And then when they go back, I always suggest do everything on a leash, guys. Leash is friend. And then when they go back to looking for the leaf, with a little correction on leash, not hard, just focus, and get them to start looking more for you for guidance. Because right now, the leaves have relevance, and the leaves should not have relevance. So it's a slow process, but the leash should be your best friend at this time, especially when you're dealing with a 9-month-old puppy. That it's like having a kid. Everything goes in the mouth, and if you put the leash on and you make your leash correction with a very firm but fair no, look at me, give me the attention, not the leaf. You can praise them or give them a treat, but you got to get them focused on you, not just redirect, because the redirection theory does work, but it's a band-aid. And it's one of the reasons I don't like redirection. Okay, focus and keep on leash. I see, makes a lot of sense. Yeah, the redirection game that a lot of people in my profession talk about is a great gap, to fill the gap, to get the unwanted behavior to stop. But it's not always, the disconnect is you're not getting through to the mind. The mind has to follow what you're asking them to do, which is stop. So I know people use this to, when dogs are counter surfing or they growl at people. Here, don't growl, take a treat. But we're not getting through to the mind. And the most important thing in the dog training journey is to get through to the mind of the dog. So the dog is thinking, okay, what do I have to do to either one, get the treat or get the praise? Because praise, guys, is a huge treat for it really is. I don't think people put enough onus on how important praise is to your dog. Yes, it's great to give them a food reward, but think about it again. Hence the name. Back to basics. If they're in the wild and they're with their pack, they're not going to get a treat when they have unwanted behavior. They're going to get the love shown by discipline and then the follow through to get to the state of mind that they want. The alpha dogs want. So we as humans like to give food rewards. I'm not huge on it. You can do it course, but you do want to wean away from them. So getting back to what I was saying earlier, thank you for the question. I hope I said your name right, Maya. Keep us updated. Let me know how it works for you. But if you stay consistent, check your energy, always calm, don't overthink it. You'll see a change in your little pup. So one of the things, like I was about, my goal is to help one dog and one family at a time. And what I mean by that is, yes, I look at the dog and I see the issues the dog is exhibiting, but I look at the whole family dynamic and I try to help. Not by helping the family, I help the dog. So we're going to be focusing a lot on, I'm going to put it in a very broad category right now on the ESA part of it, the emotional support. But the emotional support is great. We can get the dog to do a lot of the behaviors we want them to do, but the emotional support is also about supporting people. And I do notice, guys, and people that are on here watching, if you've ever seen it, our dogs mirror us. They mirror our energy. If we're happy, they're usually happy. If we're down in the dumps, they're usually down in the dumps. They read our energy, so they're really good at being emotional support. But what I find, again, with the disconnect in the human world is when we go in to help these dogs become these emotional support dogs that we're looking for, we're doing the basic obedience with the dogs, but we're not looking at the broader picture. And I choose to change that. I choose to look at the broader picture, which is how can I help the human through the dog, help them with their lives, because it all ties together. And that's why, recently you guys have been hearing me, I've been talking about the journey of dog training, not the processes. The journey of dog training is exactly that. It's a journey. Journeys are supposed to be enjoyable. And in order to have that incredible journey that, I want everybody to go on and experience with their dogs, it's a lifelong journey that we're in tune with Mother Nature, because that's what dogs are, with our energy. And our energy can change how we are. And it gives us a better way of living our lives. That no anger, no frustration, no nonsense theory that I have, and my trademark is exactly about that. It's about the energy. And the energy is what's going to make or break us in our everyday lives, and also including our lives with our dogs. But it helps us with our lives with fellow humans, and it makes us understand things better. And I've been practicing this for, I'm going to say, a lot of years. I don't know how many years. And the biggest compliment I get from my customers that I've worked with is not only do I help them with the dogs, but I help them with their lives. And I'm going to really focus on that avenue. Not that I'm an expert at any of this, but unfortunately or fortunately in my life, I've dealt with things with people with mental disabilities and different anxiety or depression or whatever. I've dealt with a lot of it in my life, myself personally, my family, my friends, and I've come up with things that I think help. And what I notice is when I help them, I help their dogs also. So it's a beautiful world, and it's a beautiful journey that I go on with these people. But getting back to one of the issues I had when I was up on Long Island with dear friend, customer, pack member, Jill. If you guys remember, I worked with Jill a while ago with Archie, her lab, who thought she was a chew toy, and she's got the scars on her arms to prove it. And it was pretty bad, but it was just overexcitement. That's all it was. It wasn't a vicious dog. He wasn't vicious. He was just overly excited. Well, Archie's about 2 years old now, and Jill decided to get a puppy, Anna. And there's another lab, and Anna's having totally different issues. Anna's big issue is she's a resource guarder at 5 months old. She resource guards food, high value toys. And when I say high value toys, I'm not talking about the fluffy stuff. I'm talking about the bully sticks, the barrel bones, and like that. And that can be very, very frightening. As a matter of fact, I saw a post on Facebook. Somebody's getting rid of their dog after 2 years because it's doing resource guarding. And resource guarding, guys, can be addressed. There is absolutely no reason why people should be rehome dogs because they resource guard. And yes, it's a real thing. There's ways you can address it. Of course, she should be your best friend at these points. And we had that issue when I was there. I gave her a bully stick. I let her get into it. And then I went to go take it. And she told me, you ain't taking this. And it was very simple. I had her on the leash. I made a very firm correction. Now, a little firmer than probably normal. And the reason being is you're threatening me. You're going to understand that's unacceptable. Not again to hurt or scare her, but to show her I'm the pack leader, I'm the dog, and you're not going to growl or backtalk me. And she threw a little bit of a temper tantrum because she was like, who are you to tell me I can't, blah, 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 blah. She threw her temper tantrum. I let her do it. And when she was all done, she gave it up. And then I was able to start taking things away from her easier because she understood, hey, this isn't that no-nonsense approach. You're not allowed to do this. I'm going to teach you a way to turn that no into a yes. And we did. And then I got a phone call a couple days later that somehow it managed where they could have the food stored before feeding. And I got her face into the bin, and that almost became a good morning, Joan. How are you? And I got her face into the food bin, and Joel, of course, said, hey, no, we don't do that. And her and Archie came running over, and almost became a whole big thing. So I tried to go back to try to figure out where did this resource guarding happen with Anna. She's only 5 months old. She can't be showing that much dominance at this age. It's not normal that I see that in such a young puppy. I've seen it in older dogs because they've been able to get away with it. And what I realized is, again, as humans, we want to do everything and make it fun for the dog, for our puppies. You want to eat? You want to eat? You want to eat? You want to go for a car ride? You want to go for a walk? And we get them all jacked up. We're making these objects, the food, the walk, the car ride, so relevant in their lives. Well, if it's relevant in my life, I'm going to protect it. So with the food, because we allow them to get excited, they're smart animals. Even the puppies, they know the sound of the food. They click, 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 kibble. And we let them get excited, and we're like, we're going to feed you. Yay, yay, look what mommy's got for you. Blah, 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 blah. And we give them the food, and they gobble it down. Stop it. Food the eating ritual should be calm. Think about it. How many of us as humans go to a dinner table? We don't do that. Why do we allow our dogs to do that? So we have to slow the whole eating ritual down. And how you do that is you have to be calm to begin with. And it's not about, oh crap, I got to feed the dog, I got to do this, and I understand that's life, but you got to slow it down. First of all, it's no way to live life, and that comes back to what I was talking about. Together, we can help one dog and one family at a time. We got to look at how we do things in our own everyday life. And the more we rush around, the more we're putting that energy onto our dogs, and the more they're going to act the same way. It's a no-win situation for anybody. So all the puppies I've raised, all the dogs I've raised, I make the eating ritual the slowest thing in the day. Reason being is, one, I do not want them inhaling their food. It's not healthy. I mean, I've had dogs, I don't know if any of you guys have, had dogs literally eat and then throw up pretty much their full kibble because they never chewed it. They just inhaled it. Excuse me. So slow down the feeding. Make the feeding calm. You know, I joke with Zoe, I did such a good job. I mean, I can give her a cup and a half of food, and it can take her, half an hour to eat it. It's a little too long, but that's okay. And when she's eating with other dogs, I just make sure all the dogs stay away from her, because I do believe a dog has a right to growl at another dog for coming near its food. I do believe it. Somebody comes near my food, I may growl. Like I said, growling doesn't mean aggression. Growling is a communication tool, and if a dog growls at another dog because it's getting near its food, doesn't mean it's going to attack the other dog. It's just say, hey, stay away. And then my job as the pack leader is to advocate for that dog still eating. So when Zoe's eating and I'm at my daughter's house with my granddogs, and I keep the other dogs away from Zoe while she's eating so she can enjoy her meal without feeling like I have to protect it, because they are going to protect food. Getting to that theory of feeding our dogs, so many people, in my opinion, make a huge mistake, and I'm not saying it's right, wrong, or different. It's just my opinion, guys, that they want to make sure their dog is good around their food bowl, so they'll put their hand in the dog's food bowl, they'll take the dog's food bowl away while they're eating, and they do all this stuff, and I don't like it personally. I always relate it to, if you cook me a nice piece of filet mignon and you come to take it away as I start eating, I'm probably going to stab you. What I want a dog to understand is that life goes on around them when they're eating. What do I mean by that? I should be able to walk by, my dog's eating in the kitchen. I should be able to walk to my refrigerator or walk to my stove or my microwave or wherever I want to go in the kitchen. You should continue eating without worrying about it, without going, because I walked by. I should be able to pet you while you're eating. And I want you to accept me being around you while you're eating, but not feel threatened that I'm going to take your food. And again, this is my opinion, but I think when people do that routine, the dog has a tendency to start guarding the food more because somebody may take it. Well, if I'm giving you food, I'm not going to take it away. Why would I do that? When I work with taking away from dogs as objects, toys, stones, sticks, so they understand that if I ask for it, I can take it. Food, I never do that with. Just let me know in the comments, guys, if this makes sense, because I think that's the biggest issue we have with some of these dogs with resource guarding is we've created it by taking away things they have. And the other thing, when you're giving them toys, you're giving them the bully sticks or the marrow bones or the higher value toys, don't do it with excitement. Don't. It's like, picture, Christmas time comes and you get, Junior, I got your bicycle. Look at this. It's a beautiful bicycle. Yeah. Go ride it. Give it back to me. That's not right. We can't do things like that. What we got to do is, hey, look what I'm giving you. Because if I'm giving it to you, I can take it away at any time. But I don't bring the excitement level up. Because then if I need to take away on the higher value things, that's what I'm saying, the bully sticks, the marrow bones, the things that have a really good flavor, I don't want them to get overly excited with it because it makes it that much harder to take it away. So I give it to them with the concept that eventually I'm going to take it away. A couple of things I look for, especially when you're dealing with marrow bones and the bully sticks and some of these things. If you start seeing them put their paws on top of things, guys, like hold it down, that's a warning your dog may guard that. That's what they do with their prey. If you think about it, if they're in the wild and they're hunting, they'll put their paws on the prey to stop the prey from leaving, and they claim it so no other dog will come near them. So I don't like necessarily when I see dogs put their paws on top of things. But again, if the state of mind is calm, you can get through that layer. That's why I always talk about the state of mind. Your energy is going to make it. Calm energy fixes a lot of issues. Also, part of the problem with Anna, and again, this is just my opinion, because I know vets are going to give you what they know. When you get a puppy, don't let the dog outside. Don't walk the dog in public. Don't do this. It's not up to date on shots. Blah, 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 blah. But those are such informative months until they get their last of their vaccines that we're missing the bonding and structure part of, well, not the bonding, the structure part of what animals need. So even if you have a puppy, you should be walking your puppy, preferably at a heel. They're not going to know what it is you're going to teach them from day one. And I put a lot of onus on the walk. You guys all know I sound like a broken record when it comes to the walk. When you have a puppy and you start walking them right away, you're teaching them structure, that you are in charge. So if you have a puppy that's not up to date on shots, you take it for a walk, be it in your backyard or on the street. If you're on the street, just don't go to common areas where other dogs may pee or poop. Stay on the concrete, on the blacktop, if it's not too hot. But always get those antibacterial wipes. You can get them at Petco. They're good for dogs, or on Amazon or whatever. And when you get done with your walk, wipe down their paws, wipe down their undercarriage, their belly and stuff, any part that may hit the, get whatever may be out there on them. Clean them up. Get them used to being handled. Get them used to their paws being handled, their ears being handled, their underbelly being handled. Think about how much help we just gave our groomers and our vets. But if you start that as puppies and you start doing the structure of the walk as a 10-week-old, 12-week-old puppy, think about the lifelong journey that is with them. They're going to follow you. You're going to teach them that you're in charge. And being in charge, I can take away the bully stick. I can take away whatever, because I'm always fair about it. I may just take it away and not give it back. That's okay too. But everything I do, I think about, okay, what's the win for the dog and what's the win for me? Well, the win for both of us is about structure and leadership. All the the stuff falls into place. I am convinced, and I've said this before, and you guys have probably heard me, I probably sound like a broken freaking record, is if you learn to master the walk, if your dog's chewing up your furniture, digging in your yard, showing some unwanted behaviors, whatever they may be, if you truly master the walk, so you have that off-leash experience with your dog every single time you go out, no matter what in the world is going on, leaves, branches, trucks going by, motorcycles going by, other people, other dogs, bicycles, whatever, and you have that off-leash experience with your dog, that your dog's staying with you because you asked them to, all those other problems disappear, because then they're truly conforming to the pack mentality, because they got structure and they got leadership the way they need it. Good morning, Donna. And since Donna popped on, and we had a great visit when I was up there, and I really appreciate them opening up their houses to me like they always do. I feel like, we're family. Stark was there, and it was a great day for, y'all heard me talking about Stark before. But it was a good day to go when I went, because they had landscapers there doing tree maintenance or whatever it was that was going on, which is usually I don't want to say a trigger for Stark, but it triggers people in his yard. They're using tools that make noises, and they're walking around, and typical dog, he's going to do what he needs to do. So it was beautiful. We're sitting there around the kitchen table, and one of the landscapers came up, I think, with a blower on the deck, and that's usually a trigger. Stark heard it, saw it, smelled it, whatever, started running towards the back door, and I'm like, hey, you don't do that. And Stark just stopped dead in his tracks and went back and laid down. It's not magic. We joked about it when I was there. I think the term we used is I was throwing my energy at him. It's, indirectly, I guess that's what I'm doing. But he understood it, because when I did my correction, one, my timing was perfect. It was before it got escalated. And two, he understands from my energy, I mean it. I got this. I'm saying it's okay. And it was beautiful to see, because it shows you how they get it. Even when I walked into Jill's house with the little puppy Anna that I never met, Anna pretty much got it. She tried her normal routine. She's a puppy. She tried jumping on me. The normal things puppies are going to do. And I'm like, nope. And she's like, oh, okay, I'm not allowed to do that with you. And it's why, because I have that no nonsense mindset, and it's not no nonsense because I need to control it. No, it's these are the things I expect. So by no anger, no frustration, no nonsense. Yes, I know it sounds like it's a tough guy talk. It really isn't. It's the opposite. Tough guys talk with anger. No nonsense is not angry, guys. It's not. It's a matter of fact. So if you think about that type of energy, when I say no, it's not magic. I always say there's nothing usually wear short sleeves for a reason. But they understand it, because it's the energy I'm putting out. It's that no nonsense. Hey, Stark, I don't want you hacking the back door because somebody's doing that right now. I'm saying it's okay. Without me saying, Stark, it's okay. It's the landscapers. I invited him here. He's doing his job. Blah, 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 blah. We have a whole conversation. Doug doesn't understand and just continues going. And then the problem is we wait till the explosion to try to stop it. I saw what he was doing before he got to the door. Boom. And he's like, oh, I'm going to go lay down and rest again. Because they'd rather do that anyway. It's the timing. It's the belief in the system. No nonsense. And again, no nonsense is not about this, guys. You can't see it, but it's about this. It's like, boom. I mean it. I don't have to explain to you why. It's not because I'm a tough guy and I need to settle. It's the way I need you to be. And it's okay. Because I did have somebody say last week, and it brought out a good point, that no anger, no frustration, no nonsense theory I talk about could sound that, it's a tough guy routine. And I know Donna's on, and it's not about the tough guy routine. It's not. It's an energy. When I say no anger, no frustration, no nonsense, it's an energy I need you guys to all understand. understanding our dogs are going to show us unwanted behaviors, bad behaviors, whatever you want to call them. I choose not to call them bad behaviors, unwanted, because we need to teach them. But they're going to exhibit these unwanted behaviors, and I can't get mad at them or angry at them or frustrated with them, because I understand they're going to do it the same way raising kids. Kids are going to have unwanted behaviors. I can't get mad at them. I can't get frustrated with them. I got to teach them, but in a no-nonsense approach. Do it this way. It's a better way. You get more love and affection and all this if you follow what I ask you to do. So the no nonsense is actually love. It's not tough guy. Because I'm going to help turn those no's into yes. And I like yeses so much better. Guys, let me know in the comments if this makes sense. So a couple of things I do want to bring up, because we're going to wrap it up. We're about that half-hour mark. Please mark your calendars for it. I will be posting it out on all the different Facebook platforms that I'm on. I just have one more thing I need to test. I believe on October 28th at 6:30 p.m., I will be broadcast. Good morning. Update on Hope. She is with a good friend of mine doing amazing walking on leash and listening to commands. Beautiful. I don't know if you guys remember, Kim had an issue with a dog, and I know Kim was going through some stuff in her own personal life, and she made the very hard decision of giving Hope to a friend, which I think was the best thing, and Hope is doing amazing. I'm so happy to hear that. So on October 28th at 6:30 p.m., I'm going to be holding a free Mastering the Walk Back to Basics style seminar. I am going to be broadcasting it on all the Facebook platforms that I'm part of, as well as my YouTube channel. That will be going out live. I have to just test one or two things, because my goal is to be able to answer the questions for my virtual audience as well as my live audience. And that's the thing I got to figure out and make sure I get that down to a science. It's going to be a 2-hour seminar. It's out there free. I'm posting it out on my, on the Facebook pages and my YouTube channel. So please make sure, set a reminder on your calendars. October 28th, 6:30. This is a free seminar, guys. It's a 2-hour seminar. People think I'm out of my mind for doing this for free, but it goes back to what I said, to help one dog and one family at a time. This methodology works. If we can all learn to master the walk with our pups, I do believe a lot of the unwanted issues will just disappear, because they're going to understand structure and leadership. So it'll be an absolute privilege and a pleasure to bring this out in front of a live audience as well as my virtual audience. Let's get everybody together. When you see me post this out on the Remember Me Rescues Facebook page, Back to Basics, my personal Facebook page, please share it with your fellow dog lovers around the country and around the world. The more people we get in there and to ask the questions, the more we can help together and live towards that goal of mine. I think it'll do everybody. It's a great thing. There'll be a slideshow presentation playing along as I'm yapping, which is something else I got to figure out for the virtual audience. I know there's a way to do it. I just got to do it and test it. And then that slideshow presentation, if anybody is going to want it afterwards, I just need email addresses. I'll email copies of it so you have a cheat sheet, which is a beautiful thing too. So with that being said, guys, if there is no other questions, we're going to wrap it up. Like I said, we're at the magic half-hour mark. As always, thank you for inviting me into your home each and every Saturday morning. Oh, speaking about Saturday mornings, next Saturday morning, I will not be broadcasting this live. I have an event that I'm going to be doing. So I'll maybe broadcast live from there, but it won't be on this format. It'll probably be on my phone. But it won't be the live Q&A session. But we're going to broadcast live anyway. It's an event that I'm going to be having a booth at, hopefully meeting some fellow dog lovers and giving some advice on dog training, and invite them to my seminar, of course. But I'm excited about that. So next Saturday, it won't be this platform, but I will be live at one point Saturday morning between 11 and 2. And we'll take it from there. So with that being said, guys, thank you, as always, for inviting me into your home each and every Saturday morning. It's an honor and a privilege and a pleasure to bring this to you. As always, stay healthy, stay safe, God bless, and remember, together we can help one dog and one family at a time. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, guys, and we'll see you in some form next week.